Welcome back, guys, to our game, chess at lichess.org. So today I'll be playing black, and I'm using J Brazil, having a current rating of 1,997, while my enemy is Savvy33, having a 1,853 rating. So today we'll be playing 5 minutes game, and today I'll be showing you another variation of Sicilian defense, McDonnell attack. So it started with E4. I played the C5. This is the standard Sicilian defense. Then he played here the McDonnell attack. So the F4 is the what they call the McDonnell attack. The reason of F4 is he will open the F file. So once he castle short castle, the F file is open. So you don't need to maneuver the knight. So it's already semi-open. So it's very good position for white. But here I played knight c3, knight c6, and he played here the c3. So here, because he played c3, I can play here d5. So this actually a good counter for c3. Every c3 on Sicilian, you could play d5 to counter it straightforward. So here he played e5. So this e5 move is just controlling the center, the f6, the d6. Then after here, I played the bishop f4, bishop f5. So I move my bishop here so I can play e6 in the future, and I don't want to block my bishop on this diagonal. So that's why I moved my bishop first. Here he played the knight a3, and this is very uncommon, but still okay. The normal move for white should be bishop e7 according to engine, but he played here knight a3. I played here h6 because I am a bit scared of this g4 square and my bishop might be trapped somewhere. That's why I moved this h6. This is just a preemptive move to avoid uh, my bishop get trapped. Here he played d3. Here I played bishop e4, and here he played knight f3. Uh, then after knight f3, I played e6. So this is a pretty solid for black, and the current evaluation is zero point 0. So this is an equal game. Then he played the bishop g2. The engine doesn't like the bishop g2. The engine suggested he should play this one d3, just removing the control of the bishop on this diagonal, and then I can move back my bishop here. He can go his knight back here, and still this is an equal game. However, he played bishop g2, in which the engine doesn't like it. I played here c4, just controlling this d3 square and b3 square, and also plans attempting to take this knight on a3, because after I take this knight on a3, we will have a very bad pawn structure, and in the late game, this pawn structure will be a very disadvantageous for white, and I can easily take advantage and win easily. So here he played knight b5, and I played here a6. Is just knight maneuvering to d4, but I have to threat his knight there, so he could move to d4. The knight b d4 is quite strong, but yeah, there's no option but take this knight, and you take that with the pawn. This pawn now is pretty weak because the only defender of this pawn is this knight on f3, which is very tough. So here I try to attack the knight. No, not the knight, but the pawn on d4. So here, actually, he have the uh, he goes for knight h4, But this knight h4 is removing the defend of the d4 pawn, so I'll take advantage of that. So I take this pawn. I take this pawn on d4. Now he go for the queen e2. I take the queen, bishop takes g2. He takes the knight takes g2, and now I go for bishop b4, just putting pressure on this e2 square, d2 square. So here he moved to queen e3. This is also a engine move, and I think I have no option to take this queen, but I don't want to take that queen. Instead, I slide back my bishop at c5, and that is bishop c5. Then I'm just waiting for him to ask what he's gonna do with this queen, because my queen here is quite very strong, and if I replace it by my bishop, the bishop will be strong also. So here he took the queen instead, and I have no choice but a force move, taking the queen by my bishop. So that is bishop takes d4. Then he goes now for a4. So I was thinking that he will go for a5 and controlling this b6 square. So I move my b6 instead earlier. So I move it straight straight away because I don't want to have this pressure on a5 to b6. Then he goes for rook a3. Actually, the plan is rook a3, but the engine doesn't like that rook a3. The engine wants to move his pawn in this one, but it's quite scared because this is a pawn sacrifice, and you don't have any. Maybe you have a good plan to take this back by this one. Yeah, he should play that instead of the rook a3. He played the rook a3, which the engine doesn't like it. Then I move my knight on e7. Then he goes for b4. So this b4 is very very aggressive, and actually it gives him negative 7.2. The normal engine move should be b3, and this will neutralize my center activity. However, I'm still negative 5 or negative 4.9. That's quite a lot. But he moved to b4. Then I moved to king d7. Then he moved to knight h4 again. I remember he moved his knight, I think 2 times or 3 times already. He keeps moving this knight, and that's quite a lot of waste move. Here, uh, I played hc8, which the engine doesn't like because my bishop is trapped in d4, and which he didn't see it also. Instead, he moved it because if he played this, I don't have any option, but he can take my bishop freely there. So after this, but I still have compensation of my 3 pawns here. This 3 pawns is quite very good. Then I can play. I'm a piece down, but still, I have a very very good position for this one. Still negative 4. If you play this, and this pawn will go down, and slowly I will be winning this game. So then let's go y. Instead of rook h8, instead of the knight f3, he played the king e2, which is not a good move again. I played the b5, so this b5 is this bishop now is free. He have a escape room, b6 and a7, so he's not trapped. If he put a5, he put a5. I still have a7 here. Now I go for a rook knight c6, and this threatening this b4 square. So that will be. I will take that pawn easily. Then here he goes back. The knight goes back to f3 and threatening my bishop. Now I can move my bishop a7. Now he can go to rook a1. So this pawn is now free. And actually, after bishop e3, I can go to knight c2, and I think he resigned after this because I think that I'm having a huge advantage of negative 8.9. That's quite a lot. It's almost a queen equivalent. So he resigned after this. So let's review again. Where is the bad move of the game? So I think the structure is a bit. Mhm. This G3, the engine doesn't like the G3 because it's weakening this queen side position. Yeah, there's a bishop G2, the engine doesn't like it. And now this bishop, this knight move, the engine doesn't like it also. The normal move should be this one according to agent B3 because you cannot take this pawn. You have this bishop right there. If I go for this, if I go this, the bishop can the queen can move on c2, and if we exchange this one, oh, he can sacrifice. That's quite nice. Hmm. Wow. What if I take this one? I put here. Hmm. Oh, he has a very active position for compensation for that pawn. So the b3 move is quite very good instead of this knight d5, which is a bad move according to engine. I can play a6, then after that he jumps. Then the knight h4 is also not a good move because it's makes the d4 pawn hang, and I can take that easily. And this is a wrong move after another wrong move, which give him a bad game. So here, just change. The rook move also in a3 is also not that good according to engine. And this b4 square is also a bad move. Actually, I have also my own bad move, moving my rook on c8. Rook c8 is a bad move. Then again, he has a bad move on moving his king on e2. Then yeah, I think that's it. So a bit of bad move per game, per move, a different. It gives him a lot of disadvantage. So I think that's the game for today, guys. And thank you for watching and have a good one. Bye bye and God bless.